rated view yesterday with our boy Charlie Slum. And this is interesting because before we basically ruled it the idea that we were only going to do reviews of people either before their album got reviewed or weeks after. So this is interesting. This is a day after the review. He took the constructive criticism. He's mad as hell. No. He showed up. He was mask on with it, not mask off, ready to let loose.
So I'm ready to shoot something up, man. I'm about to catch a body on y'all motherfuckers, man. So I came through with the mask on. You know, that's I normally don't move like this, but only when I commit crimes, I come through like with the mask on. So based on your review, I thought I might have to catch a body. You guys are cool dudes. Guys. No, I love y'all, man. I appreciate y'all, like Real Rap, for taking the time to listen. I can tell that y'all actually listen to the album, man. That's all you can really ask for, man. So I appreciate it.
Well, thanks. That's all we want to do, man. I tell everybody, this is about the city. This is more about y'all than me. Like I said, I like being able to do this because I love talking about music. I listen to music too deeply not to talk about it. Malachi used to get annoyed about it when we used to chill back in the day. So he gave me the platform. But before we get into this, I want to at least either apologize or correct some things from yesterday's review. I watched the East Side review, bro. I don't know why. Did you like lose weight? Because I swear to God, it just looked like you were bigger in the East Side video.
Nah, man. I think sometimes it's camera work. I know it made it seem like I was taller because like I shot that joint. My whole thing is I never show my face as an artist. So I shot a good amount of that video with the GoPro on. Mm-hmm. And so like with a lot of people who are shorter than me, it made me look like I'm like Diesel on their ass, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know, it was just like a lot of short motherfuckers who made appearances in that video for whatever reason.
Let's blame it on everybody else not getting tall.
Yeah, but I am not overweight.
No, like I'll give the full understanding of what I thought. I was like, he's like what, 38 years old. I'm 250, so I was assuming he was like 250 with me, but tall. So he wasn't like wide like I am. So I'm just like, yeah, he seems like an older gentleman, like 35, 38 years old. And then he walked through the door. I'm like, yo, James, is that dude? Because he got all the clothes on. Like everything on the shirt says that that's him.
Yeah. So they try to put 10 years on me, about 70 pounds. You know what I mean? It's all good. That means it's larger than life. The music is real.
And again, it also comes with the maturity of your music. Like I said, every reference I gave was either Common or Nas, because you give me the feeling that you are an old soul rapper, especially looking at you now. Like you seem like more of an old soul spitting your rhymes and giving knowledge. Like you're an MC because you drop knowledge. Not a lot of people are dropping knowledge these days. Yeah. And no matter how I felt about the album, just because it wasn't fully my style. Like I said, this is an energy thing.
I got albums like that.
But when it came down to what I was listening to, like even when I got to the point, I'm like, I'm not into these songs. But lyrically, kids should be able to listen to this. And that's something I'll give your album. Like even though there might be some lyrical things that you say that are vulgar at some point, I still feel like with a parent sitting next to you, a child should be able to listen to at least the last 5 tracks of the album. Freedom. What was the track before Freedom? But a couple tracks around the Freedom part was where Silence. Silence. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Silence. Those tracks. I'm like, all right, so yeah, that does lead us to the main question. I will let you ask this one, James, but we both had the same question.
What?
Signing off.
Signing off? Yeah. So why'd you put that there?
Yeah. Why is it not the final track?
Why is it not the final track?
Yeah. So if you actually listen to the song, it's like when I'm saying signing off, I'm really talking about like signing off of social media, signing off your computer. So like I know the proper term would be logging off. You know what I'm saying? But like you sign on, you sign off. So when I wrote it, that's kind of what I thought. It's kind of like leads into silence, because silence kind of like takes that like leap from there. So it's like once you signed off, like get your mind right and do that. So that's kind of like why it's there. So it wasn't really like your traditional like MC signing off, I'm out. But you're the second person who brought that up. So legitimate question for sure.
Okay. Because honestly, like I said with the album, there wasn't anything that fully there wasn't any song that I was like, I can't listen to this. I've had plenty of albums, local or not, and I'm just like, yeah, man, this whole song could have been left off the album.
Well, can I bring up a criticism I got on y'all? Like something that just broke my heart, man. Like I was really disappointed. It's not a criticism. It's a disappointment, man. Like like I'm like, yo. First of all, let me preface this, okay? We in Pittsburgh, all right? Some people consider us like East Coast, but we really ain't that East Coast, goddamn it. You know what I'm saying? You got some of the biggest rappers out here, like we use phrases like Wody, and it's like a big flavor, like from Midwest, from the South. No Limit was huge here back in the day. And y'all didn't understand that Silly Hoes is Heaux. That's like the New Orleans way of spelling it. Like Go Saints. You never seen that shit? So that's the shit that disappointed me more than anything. I was like, man, these are some Pittsburgh natives, and they didn't get it.
I needed that though, because
it was like Helix. I was like, man, first of all, where the fuck y'all get the L from? You know what I'm saying?
This is all great. So that and the second female,
I fucked up.
What's the name of the female feature on Freedom? Because I know I fucked her.
Oh, you fucked her.
We fucked everybody's name up.
And she does not like when people fuck her name up either. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry. I knew it.
Well, she's actually like a world-renowned singer. She not only sings R&B, but she does jazz as well as opera.
I can tell she did opera.
Yeah, and that's dope from a black young lady from the East Side. You know what I'm saying? Like her name is Anquinique. Anquinique Wingfield, to be exact. But yeah, she's a tremendous artist. I was really grateful to have her like feature with me, and I did like a little acknowledgement that I put out before the album dropped, like to take it like back in the day when motherfuckers used to write shit all up in the liner notes and all that. So I did one of those, and I was like, man, Anthony, I appreciate you. You murdered me on my own track. You know what I'm saying? Like she was like an Eminem, Jay-Z type joint. I love it though, man.
Like I said, I mean, you heard it on the review. I put it up there with Empire State. Like it was like you was Jay, she was Alicia Keys.
Damn,
it was like,
that's saying a lot, bro.
Yeah, you guys were killing
that song is important to me, man. That song, your message, y'all both put a beautiful message out in that song. So like, no, that song to me, I wish it was more than just us talking about it. Like that's a song that outside of like listening to the next Molly Xanax track, I'd rather people be hearing you spit that.
Oh, we're gonna grow. It's gonna be a lot more people listening to it. I'm definitely about to putting together a visual for that one. I just wanted to make sure like my intro came through. I knew Eastside was a perfect thing to start with, man. Like, cause in the game, you want to really make sure you get your core audience, and that's the Eastside song was really important for me. But like when people ask me what my favorite song, it's really impossible as an artist like to tell. But like Freedom is really important because like from a songwriting perspective, I wrote all that, even her parts. So like I had like there's a reference track with me singing all that shit. Sounds terrible, you know what I'm saying? But I knew I was gonna have an artist sing, but that's just how I operate. And so like from a songwriting perspective, with melodies, all that, I was proud of that song. And in terms of like what the song embodies about like taking that leap and don't letting other people define you, you know, going out there and get it for yourself. So I appreciate that.
Like I said, that's the biggest thing about your album I noticed is it just reminded me of listening to Nas albums. I mean, not Nas, Common. Nas and the fact that you just keep it real, but it hit me with Common more just because you were really talking about things that matter. Like I didn't really get them. Like even you were like, because I'll admit the one track which I'm so happy I listened to that entire track because I might not have liked it. Was it complicated? It wasn't my favorite track, but the only way I'd have got where you was going was listening to the entire track and be like, oh, he's talking about America. Yeah. Cool. Because it's like, I don't care about his relationship that much. Yeah. But it was like, now I understand his relationship with America, which the relationship we all have with America is rocky. Yeah. So I get it. So yeah, that was one of them tracks. I was like, you got to listen to the entire thing, which is important. Yeah. Because some people don't do that. My brother specifically, he'll listen to a song for 30 seconds and cut it off. Yeah. So
that was one of those songs too. Like it was like a creative decision too, like to even give it away at the end. You know what I'm saying? But like when I had people, I did such a good job of making sure it sounded like I was talking about a woman. A lot of people like just thought I was talking about a woman. I was like, I actually had to go in there and say, that's my love song about America and shit. So I added that later on. But yeah, that was a song that actually the blog community showed a lot of love on. So like I think 4 different blogs picked that up. And then like as a result of some of those blogs, I developed some new relationships with producers from some of my future projects. So that was definitely a good song that meant a lot for me too, man. So I appreciate you taking a listen, man.
Oh, one other thing before we delve in more. You're the first person where we just like literally just went out on a search and just Googled the word Pittsburgh. Or did you go on DatPiff? You went on DatPiff and just put the word Pittsburgh in DatPiff? Yeah. And you were the first artist we did that with. And the fact that we did this last Thursday when we left the show last Thursday, and between now we did a review and you're sitting here is very impressive to me.
My man. Hold on, is that how y'all found me?
DatPiff. We were just looking through DatPiff for Pittsburgh artists.
Oh shit.
Yeah, we're trying to
That's fucking beautiful, man.
And we're gonna now keep you coming. You're more than welcome to come back, and I hope you got more.
Well, that's you know what's crazy about me? I don't like to let too much cat out of the bag, but I actually recorded this album in like another album at the same time.
Oh.
So like, and it's funny. One thing you'll learn about me, like I consider like this whole next year a project.
Okay.
You know, like so. One of the things you'll learn about me is that I'm really versatile as an artist. So one of the reasons that when I molded this album, like I wanted to make sure it was cohesive because some of the other stuff I did wouldn't have fit at all. You know what I'm saying? And so like I know for a fact that like for folks for this one, if this like was a little too J. Cole-ish and melancholy for some people to like listen to, like they'll gravitate some of my later works because like I grouped a lot of those pieces together. So my next album, I'm not gonna even put the label out there, but like it's probably gonna come January, February, and I'm really excited to share that. And the reason why I couldn't leave with that album because I couldn't come out the gate being all vulnerable and shit. You know what I'm saying? So that like that album's a little bit more interpersonal, and it's like something I think has like even more appeal, like single wise. So and then I'm half 60%, 70% done with the follow up to that. So like I'm just like been crazy in the booth working with like a lot of producers, and I've actually been in the studio with live bands as well. So like actually getting in there with like a guitar player, bass player, and then molding stuff from a production perspective that way. So like, and that you're gonna start to see that side of me starting on the next project.
So you're the first artist that we've interviewed that say that. We've had conversations in the past about producing in live bands. So I'm not gonna ask you which one you like more, but like, what's the difference between trying to pick up a beat with a producer in the studio and then trying to catch a sound with an entire band, or even just one or two people like a violinist or a pianist?
Yeah, well, I think this is like the biggest difference. Like for me, is that like for the majority of this album, right? These were beats that people sent to me that were already composed for the most part. I get the parts of the beat so I can work with them. I got a wonderful sound engineer. Shout out, Tough Sound Recording, Soy Sauce. He's a Pittsburgh legend. Like, so like a lot of times we prefer to get the, and we can like change stuff. But for the most part, I'm writing to like something that's already there. The biggest difference than to coming in with like a band is that like, you're building that, so you're like, man, like I've been feeling something like this, or I've been inspired by this. Let's work it. And by the time like the beat is done, you might already have like half the song done, and you're like adding stuff, or they may add like a different instrument that throws it out the window. You know what I'm saying? But like to me, like that's the biggest difference. It's just like a little bit more control and the vibes that you feel. Really you can make sure are reflected in the music on vocally, like with the verse and lyrically. So it's dope.
Now, was it your show that you just had Monday? Now, were you doing it with a live band, or were you doing, because that was like a jazz concert, right?
Yeah, it was like jazz, hip hop fusion, man.
Okay.
Like, so like that artist, his name was Albertico.
I fucked that up.
Or something along that. He's from Cuba. He's originally from Santiago, but lives in Havana. So I randomly, like another event that happens at Tough Sound Recording Studios, once a month, they have an event called Producers Meetup.
Okay.
So all these producers, some well-established, some a little bit more on the learning curve, they come together and they share their music and they give tips, like whether it's mixing or whatever. So I was there, and like I don't per se make beats, like but like I kind of mold and produce from that perspective, like with bands and stuff like that. And also I'm really there to just get fucking beats. You know what I'm saying? I want to be around the best production.
Yeah.
So like at the end of that, like after I had like premiere like a song that I was working on, got some feedback, I just started freestyling. Like we was just in there freestyling, and like dude took a liking to me. And it's crazy because like there's a language barrier there. Like he knows a little bit of English, but like that is certainly not he's certainly not fluent, and it's certainly not his first language. So him and his buddy were like, yeah, we got a show coming up on like Monday, like maybe you should like come through. And I actually didn't hear from him again till Sunday night.
Yeah.
So there was no rehearsal with that, and like the show ended up being really dope. And they actually paid me a little bit to come out, and I was able to like sell like some CDs and some merch as well. And speaking of merch, real quick, I just want to let the people know. You see this motherfucking hat, man? Make Eastside great again. All right. So like,
where you can get it?
Check me out on Instagram, FRH412. The actual Shopify. I'm looking at my fucking camera like I'm talking to Instagram live. Let me look at the real camera. FRH412 on all social media platforms. We got the actual Shopify store coming up probably by October 1st, but I had to put a new order in, man. I sold out of these, man. So I had to order another 30 or so. And this is a Fly Revolutionary Hustler shirt, man. Like I've been selling this like crazy, man. So it's good.
He sold out because I know he sold out because of my day job today. I saw one of these hats earlier today, like today.
Oh shit!
I don't know the woman at all. Like she works in a different department, but like she walked by and I'm like, that's a cool hat. And then you walk in, I'm like, okay, so there's something about this hat that's more than just me thinking it was a cool hat. So he definitely got something with this, man. Get y'all pre-orders in before they gone forever.
Get them shits. They ain't never gonna be gone. We're gonna keep on getting that money though, baby. You might just have to wait a little longer though. Yeah.
So. All right, so what's this is for you, your own personal promotion, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool.
Yeah, and actually the hats I actually partnered with a company named Hood Abstract. It's ran by my brother Martell Covington. He's actually a great dude. He coaches Little League football at Homewood. So he made the Make Wilkinsburg hat great again hats, Make Homewood great again hats, and then we partnered up on this one. And then the shirts is all me. And I got some other shirts too, man, that like kind of mirror my album cover. So yeah.
Now about the album, so I'm assuming you're gonna get more volumes, right?
More what?
More volumes.
Oh, in the future, you know, I actually don't have a plan for, I have an idea, but I haven't started working on that project or nothing. But yeah, I do. I think like, you know, this one was more about like how I view the world and the prism. You're probably not gonna see like an album for me that is as specific, you know, like for me. But I as a debut project, I wanted motherfuckers to know exactly like how I feel about the world, where I'm coming from. So when I do some of my other music that's a little bit more vibey and you can dance to, you understand the vision that's coming from. You know what I'm saying? And like I feel like it's easy. I feel like you can start off being like lyrical and boom bap and explore from there, but it's hard to start off on the other end and try to reel it in.
Oh, no. Believe me, I see it all the time.
Yeah.
Nobody's taking Shade Moss seriously.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Nobody it's either like there's a few other people I can say, but like when you change your whole persona to try to be serious, it don't work.
Yep.
It just hasn't worked for some artists. And yeah, he's the easiest because he was the one that was out here getting platinum records when he was calling himself a different name. But all right. So we went through about an hour, or at least a half an hour of not bringing this up.
Yeah.
People gonna want to know what the mask. Like I know you say you don't like showing your face as an artist, but like the mask itself, the current mask you're wearing. Yeah.
Well, like even let's talk about why I wear the mask. There's a lot of reasons. It's like kind of like a deep reason. So like I think like who I am and what I stand for is more important than my face. Like for one, and I feel like there's a ton of other people who stand for similar things that I do. And I want them to be the focus. So every time I have like a video, visuals, I want to highlight the other people in the world who are like me, who are about getting money, empowering their community, and standing for something that's bigger than themselves, and still are free to be who they are. You know what I mean? Have like a swag that's such a played out word, but like have like a presence that separates other people, them from other people. So that's kind of like what I stand for. In terms of like the mask itself, man, I wanted it to be something. I didn't want it to be scary. I didn't want to be wearing a fucking Jason mask. I wanted it to be something that could be fly. Like a lot of times when I perform, like sometimes I perform in suits. Like so, like I'll wear a mask. I have another mask that I wear with like a top hat. I just want people like, yo, that's some G shit, you know. So that's basically all it comes down to in terms of like the type of mask that I wear, man. So.
Or now I know you. I'm not sure. So are these masks up there like the shirts and the hats, or
Nah, man, you can't, y'all motherfuckers, because otherwise y'all motherfuckers gonna be doing shows on the FRH, and I'm gonna have to sue your ass. I mean, I did some research. You know, like MF Doom is like one of the most like counterfeit performers because there's other dudes who just be like wearing this fucking mask and trying to roll up. So I also had to make sure I had a unique, custom-made mask that fit that couldn't be easily duplicated. You know what I'm saying? So that's part of it too.
And you're right. I can imagine MF Doom. I'm a Daft Punk fan, so like I listen to them. I'm like, I could imagine like anybody can go get a robot helmet and go into a club and be like, hey, let me spin. I'm Daft Punk. Yeah. So I definitely get it. Or Dead Mouse, you could go get a big ass fake Mickey Mouse hat and just rock out. And I see it. So I definitely understand. That's unique. You know, like there's just things in this mask. It's like I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but this has details. Like it's 3D basically. So
the other dope thing is though, the flip side of that is like the motherfuckers can go on vacation and tell their cousin to go do a show. You know what I'm saying? And get a whole $100,000 or some shit. So you know, I might have to think about that in the future. Yeah, 3 shows in a night.
Hey man, you don't have to have a mask for that. Little John been doing that for a couple years. Little John, the Postinator dude. Little John has like a mini me of himself where he'll go out and have him do shows.
Oh,
it's not that hard when you don't have to actually rap. Like when you don't do that if you're a rapper that actually has to spit bars, because your person won't come out there looking like a Milli Vanilli.
Yeah, real rap. So maybe I couldn't do it because I'd be spitting some bars. Bars, #bars.
So, but yeah, I definitely like this. I wanted to let it ride as long as I could. Like, I want people to be worried when they're rewatching this in a couple days. Like, why haven't they brought up this nigga's mask?
Yeah.
Like, well, it's not the important part of the issue. It's not the important issues here. But so you said that you do have different sides to your music, and you know what? No matter how, like I said, you still got the 4, but I feel like if you would have went the other route, you're right. I'd have complained because I usually complain about not knowing who artists are when I get their first project and it's just a bunch of street or talk or just talk that isn't about them.
Yeah.
So I do respect the fact that I do feel like I get who you are from the first album I listened to. Like I said, now you're right. My issue wasn't the lyrical content or the production or anything. It's just like I never got that one track where I'm like, all right, it's time to get loose a little bit, or the work. I don't work out, but the workout track.
Yeah,
that's what I imagine it'd be like, the workout, the dance track, like you said. Yeah. And again, it don't gotta be corny. It's just it never got to that point where I was like, I basically just listened. I listened and I got knowledge, which one day, and like I said, one day somebody might want to sit back and kick some knowledge. The next day somebody might want to just get turned. Yeah. I just never got, and I said 1 or 2 tracks would have did it for me. I just didn't get the 1 or 2 tracks where I'm like, all right, I'm about to bang out a little bit, get these dreads messed up. So I'm
gonna get you right, bro.
All right.
I will get you right, man. Like even the next project could get you right a little bit. But like my third project, it's all those songs are either like really melodic or dancing. You know what I'm saying? And then like I tried to like when I was sequencing the album, I like tried to move some of them songs and it just didn't sound right. It just was like it sounded so out of place, and I was like, man, I'm just gonna wait.
We have that too. I've listened to plenty of albums where I'm like, this is dope, and I'm like, where the hell did this song come from? Yeah, the song's dope, but I don't really have it in this title of the album. Yeah. And your album is definitely top 3 that I've listened to this year when it's like, oh no, this is literally songs made in order for this order. Mm-hmm. Even now knowing the concept of signing off, because that was really signing off didn't lower your repeat. Signing off is still dope. Yeah. People can kick it a cappella like that.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was just confusion. Yep. And your album was the way you wanted it to be. It had a concept, which is where I'm at to get. So you're saying that the rest of your albums might not be so concept oriented?
Yes and no. So like my next album, I'm gonna spill the beans right now, man.
Oh shit.
Exclusive motherfuckers.
Oh shit.
My next album is actually called Relationship Goals.
Okay.
So that is a little conceptual because it kind of takes you from like a nigga that's chilling in these streets, meets a shorty, kind of falls in love, gets a little shaky, heartbroken, then back in these streets. So that one is kind of like conceptual. Okay. But it also, outside of that, it also talks about a little bit about like my relationship with like work. So like, I've been a young go-getter for a while, man. So like I was like fresh out of school and shit, like in corporate America. So before this rap shit, I was actually doing commercial banking full time, yo. Now I see why. So like you talk about the maturity in the music, that comes from like dealing with old ass dudes, shaking hands, talking about business loans and all that shit. That was my life, man. So like the next album talks about that breakup as well. Okay. So it's kind of like multi-layered. So like
that's cool.
Yeah, so I think a lot of that stuff like has helped me though, like even from like the business side and understanding the music and getting the merch popping and all that kind of stuff. Like those experiences are all beautiful, man. But like, yeah, I'm a young retiree, cuz retired before 30. How G is that? Cuz they threw me a fucking retirement party. Like I'm not lying.
Oh,
so
that's dope.
It was cool, man. But like I'm not one of them dudes who can multitask well. So like when I was there, I was the shit. I was a top performer. I was getting mad money, you know what I'm saying? Like six figures in the 20s, man. You know, that's just crazy. And then, but then like, you know, when I because of like my commitment to that, I couldn't like really get to these bars and get to the other parts of my life. You know what I'm saying? And I got some street tales for y'all too, but those will come a little later, man.
I respect that because I hear that a lot more recently. You're the first artist from the city I've heard have that journey, but like like you said earlier, J. Cole seemingly had that journey where he went through trying to be the business side. He could have had 6-figure job, like you said, and he'd rather rap. Same thing, y'all might not know. Little Dicky is the same way. From what I've heard from Little Dicky was in like a cubicle and got up and left and decided to be a rapper. So like,
hold up, there was a line in the song "Silly Hoes." I was in the cubicle, now I'm in the studio. Knocking down old co-workers that look beautiful. So I just had to drop that because that was perfect, son. But yeah.
So like I'm starting to see that people are like, you chose. I mean, I'm assuming because you didn't talk badly about it. I'm assuming you was happy, but you choose attempt at true happiness to be an artist over just doing that for the rest of your life.
Yeah, even and like for me, like it was more so choosing discipline. You know what I'm saying? So like. Yeah, I could have been like a rapper, like living at my mom's fucking crib. You know what I'm saying? Like, and grinding it out. But I would rather choose to be independent. You know what I'm saying? So I chose discipline. I stacked my bread up. I bought a house at 23, 24 years old. You know what I'm saying? Got a roommate to make the living arrangement easier. Like, so all that kind of stuff, like all those things went into me being in the position where I could go and jump. You know what I'm saying? And like, when you got like no wife, no kids, like, it's like, man, fuck it, go for what the fuck you want to do. So that's kind of like what I stand for. And I think like if other people have similar ambitions, like this first album can almost be a soundtrack to that.
All right. So before we kick it over to our food half of this, I do have the two things.
Yep.
You're from the East Side. Two of my favorite songs on the album were Rust Belt and East Side. Rust Belt just because you showed love to the entire Midwest. And I think we have the common thing where we both believe Pittsburgh is a Midwest city. And
that's
not.
Yeah.
Like I've always believed that since I was a kid. So like for you to be able to say that, and I just love hearing you go from like me, like everybody knows from Pittsburgh, second home is Chicago. But when I used to catch the train in Chicago, I found out when I planned my next trip that it was gone. I used to get off in Gary, Indiana, and then catch a ride to Chicago. So hearing you shout out Gary, Indiana, Flint, St. Louis, and all that in that song was just like,
Rochester, New York too.
I was like, all them joints. Like, this is the Midwest. This is what I remember as a kid. Is what I consider the Midwest. And then East Side is just like, you got this. First thing, the video was a half a block away from getting the station in the video.
Yeah.
We was watching the video. It was like, that's bomb. I was like, it ain't the building, but we like a block away. So like, it was like you went around. Was that a drone?
Drone had the drones with us.
Okay.
Because we was like, it's either a drone or you got that pilot up at the county airport to do some shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got everywhere in East Side, so I mean, represent. That was cool.
Yeah, man. And like one thing about me, I'm actually originally from Rochester, New York.
Okay.
So like being in Rochester, New York is like what Pittsburgh was without like the recovery. You know what I'm saying? Like Rochester's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? It's not New York City. A lot of people think no, it's like its own little kill zone. You know what I'm saying? And so I moved here when I was in high school and like 10th grade, and like straight to the east side. Like I grew up like in Point Breeze, Wilkinsburg area, and then went to Alderdice, and then I live in Garfield now. I bought a crib in Garfield, and like for me, it was just like seeing like some of the similarities between that. That's what really inspired like Rust Belt. Like I'm like, man, this is some shit. And I was an economics major, so like in college, like they teach you about the Rust Belt, especially in economics, that like there's a whole bunch of cities like Pittsburgh that had like steel booming, and then the globalization changed things and people didn't have jobs, and Some of them recovered, some of them didn't. And even in places like Pittsburgh, like people call it most livable city, but like a lot of communities, particularly like disenfranchised, AKA Black communities in Pittsburgh, never really fully recovered and are still dealing with like the brunt of like the unemployment and the trauma that all that shit brought. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to bring light to that with that Rust Belt song. So that was like really important.
I know, like I said, that song East Side, like I feel like the beginning of the album was you telling me about you and the place you're from, and then about after signing off is when I hit the your political side, which again, I've been fully past the political life that I live now because of Donald Trump and the things that are going on. So for you to hit me with music that didn't fully annoy me about the political sense, that might have been the biggest detriment. And it wasn't because I rocked with it and it was
a personal preference.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not even personal preference. I've just been politically aired out. Like I'm honest to God, because my next question is going to be related to this. I just want my NFL for 16 weeks, and then y'all can go back to this political shit. Saying that, well, two things. So you're from Rochester. Are you a Sacramento Kings fan?
Hell no.
Okay.
I do understand the history though, and I respect that question greatly because yes, the Rochester Royals were there and it eventually turned into Sacramento Kings. So yeah, and like I apologize to all my family because all my family on the in Rochester, New York is from the West Side. And they love the East Side song. They're like, why the fuck you got me singing the East Side? But I'm an East Side nigga, bone to bone. Like ever since I moved, all my homies is here. I got my first piece of coochie on the East Side. So like, that's where I'm from. I never even drove in Rochester. You know what I'm saying? Like, I drove here, man. So like, East Side is where I'm from. Like East Side ambassador in these streets. So it's actually funny because like I wear this mask, but like if I'm out here on the ad, like you even shooting the video, you'll see about 10 cars, beep, 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 what up? So like, it is what it is, man. And that's another reason why I have a mask. I'm like popularity wise, I'm good. Like I don't need to be no more motherfucking popular. I don't need nobody else coming up to me who I don't know, running up on me. I don't need none of that shit, man. So yeah, East Side, baby, all day.
I know. As soon as you said you was from Rochester, the first thing I was like, I'm gonna ask the Sacramento Kings question.
Yeah.
like you'll be around the show and you'll see each other around the city. You'll figure out I'm a sports nerd. I had like pointless facts like that just sitting in my head.
Just to give Rochester a shout out though, two greatest things to come out of Rochester, man. This is for y'all too, because y'all do food shit, right?
Okay.
Ball sauce. You ever heard of ball sauce? BOSS sauce, man. Yo. Y'all will thank me forever for that shit. First of all, I didn't know that shit wasn't everywhere until I moved here because in my high school cafeteria in Rochester, they have fucking ball sauce. You put that shit on burgers, chicken, any kind of meat, fish, and people try to tell me explain it. I can't really explain it. It's not barbecue sauce. It's like thinner, but it's spicy, it's sweet, it's everything. It's love. That's what the fuck it is. Love in the bottle, bro. So like they sell ball sauce everywhere from the next place I'm about to shout out, which is Wegmans. Wegmans is a grocery store. It's the best grocery store ever created. You know what I'm saying? So they're in based out of Rochester, but they're in Jersey. I think they're in Erie. So like, if you get the opportunity to go to Wegmans, go in that motherfucker and just enjoy it and enjoy the layout and how much sense it fucking makes compared to Giant Eagle and Kroger and all this other bullshit. And then also go to the sauce section where the barbecue sauce is and grab the motherfucking ball sauce and let your life just be changed, man. And like, I'm gonna put this in the atmosphere. Like, I'm gonna buy that motherfucking company, okay? and we're gonna make this shit go global. And I already got the ball sauce makes everything better is gonna be the joint. And I got a commercial that's gonna be like this joint that's not, this young lady who's not very attractive, and you like about to bring her home to mom, and you like, hold up, and you just start up ball sauce, because ball sauce makes everything better, baby.
I respect it. I respect all that, man, because I love hearing people shout out the places they're from, man, and you're proud of it. Like you're super proud of it, and yeah, we're gonna figure out something about that boss sauce. I don't know if it's gonna be next week or in 2 weeks from now, but boss sauce will be in here.
Next time I come here, I will bring the boss sauce. Oh. We will order wings from, I would say Salvatore's, but Salvatore's wings are so good you can't even put boss sauce on them. But we're gonna order some. I shouted them out on that video. I told Salvatore's the video got like, it's at like 38,000 views right now. I said that shit gotta be at at least worth 380 wings or something. You know what I'm saying? So I need that. But we're gonna get some fucking wings from Spack Brothers, all right? And then we gonna dip that shit in the fucking ball salt, and it's gonna be a wonderful day. And y'all just gonna be smiling. Y'all might not be able to talk. You're just gonna have like smiling ear to ear.
Hey man, I'm ready for it. Like I said, like y'all know, anything y'all want to be taste tested that is not gonna kill me, let us know. The second I think it might kill me, don't come up here with your family's special recipe for chitlins. I'm not for it.
Fuck that.
Yes, but damn. That last little question got me so geeked just from like the food and oh no, this is what I was gonna say. Because you went into the I can feel we gonna connect because you was an economics major.
Yes.
I'm technically still majored in business. So hearing you talk about the layout of the store and shit, I'm like, yeah, I've been in those classes where they tell you how important it is, like how your store layout and your advertising. So hearing them saying like, yeah, these stores don't make no sense. I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of tired of walking into Giant Eagle and getting thrown into a produce section when I needed to go get something out the frozen section.
Yes.
Like, but saying that, shout out to the Aldis over here, man. I've never been in, we was parking illegally the last couple of days trying to go into Aldis. They got a parking garage next to that bitch. We didn't know it. It's free.
Oh. And it's crazy because like the Aldis on the east side of Pittsburgh, like the one he's talking about is like what, a block away from here?
Over there, yeah.
But then there's another one like 4 blocks away, like up in Garfield, like on Pacific and Penn.
Just like you were saying about the communities and stuff. Certain things are put in places for we don't go there. So they go to the one in Garfield because like they'll go to the one in Garfield. They won't come down to Shady Side to where we want to be at and go to this one.
Yeah.
So that's completely off subject, but that's what they do. That's why like I'm wondering why there's like 3 Giant Eagles within walking distance of my house.
Exactly. And the demographics of those Giant Eagles gonna be so different. You know what I'm saying? So like.
If you're from the South Hills, there's a Giant Eagle in Cassidy Village and there's a Giant Eagle in Brentwood. I can walk there in less than 15, 20 minutes if I try.
And then there's the one right there in Mountain View, right by the Century 3.
That one's a little different because it's a mall area, but them two between Cassidy and Brentwood are ridiculous. Yeah. Last thing before we go over to this taste testing. Any artists, I know you don't have a favorite artist, but any artists from either Pittsburgh, Rochester either, or just in general that influenced you to get to this point?
Yeah, I shouted out actually a few of those artists on the East Side song, First Verse. So like in Pittsburgh, there was a clique that was coming up when I was growing up called The Government, man. G-O-V, man. And I'm gonna name them all, man. S-Money, free S-Money, he locked up. Fuck the feds, fuck all that bullshit, man. Hopefully he'll be home very soon. Boaz, who's still on now, still dropping joints. Check him. I think he's, you can find him at Boaz 412. Lay Lansky, the OG, and he also made the video. He made a cameo in the video, so I appreciate him. Hard Times, Nizzy, and this is the one that gets slept on. A lot of y'all motherfuckers forget, man. The dude that you currently know is Chevy Woods on the Taylor Gang wave used to be known as Kev the Hustler, and he used to be a member of GOV as well. He used to call himself the 6th member of this wonderful 5. So, yeah, yep, Kev the Hustler, yep. So like those people, like they really inspire me because like, first of all, like even like them not blowing up on a major level, that disappointment, like, cause I was like, man, these motherfuckers is like locks. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they were that real, man. Like S-Money had a distinct style that like was wavy and catchy. Boaz had the bars. Hard Times had that shit that make you just go like, You know what I'm saying? Nizzy was locked up a lot, but like he would come in with and he would splash some shit. Lay would splash. Kev was different, and like they were unique, and like they really had like a wave. Everybody used to check for them, even hate on them. Like they had motherfuckers doing diss songs on all that shit. I was gonna
say, wasn't S-Money the one beefing with Wiz before he went to jail?
Yeah, I don't want to get into that.
I know he was killing Wiz. He was killing Wiz before that. Like, that was one thing. Like the songs were good.
Yeah, they were chilling. Yeah, there's certain things that just happen amongst friends. Period. Like when somebody accumulates a whole life-changing event and the other person doesn't, and there's a whole story behind production, all that with that. But yeah, like it was all this kind of stuff. Like, but like those dudes really inspired me. And they're from the East Side. They're from Larmer for the most part. Kev the Hustle was from Hazelwood. And like Wiz would probably tell you they inspired him. You know what I'm saying?
I wasn't shading. No, my thing was it was one of the corniest. Wiz gave out one of the corniest diss records I'd ever heard. That wasn't anything against S-Money. I just couldn't believe the niggas was hyping that Halo remix.
Oh, I don't remember that shit,
So,
man.
but no, like I said, no. You know what kills me about this is one of the few times where I've asked this question, and I've known who the people were talking about. Like I've heard of S Money, Boaz, and like I've heard all of them, and I've listened to most of them because I've reviewed a Boaz Out project once.
Oh, you took the delivery. Yeah.
So, but no, you definitely hit me with knowledge. I did not know about the Captain Hustler part. I did know about Captain Hustler. I just didn't know about the group. But no.
And them dudes, like back in the day, like me and my homie actually coordinated this huge event. That's really where I became over the East Side. It's called the Black Family Reunion Festival. It used to be in Mellon Park. So it already existed, but like we came in and like innovated that shit. And so like we grew it to an event where it had 10,000 people. All right, and we had Wiz performing. We had S Money performing. Boaz, even Owi's first like performance outside of a club was there. So like those was like real good memories that I had right there in Mellon Park. And like so that those dudes are gonna be forever special for me in that way. You know what I mean?
All right. So now the real question. You ready for this food?
I'm not ready for this food, but I'm gonna try it. We're gonna get to it. Where the food at?
All right, so we going to take a little break, get this stuff prepped up for you. He ain't going anywhere. He'll be here for the food tasting before he has to roll out. But this is GM Worldwide Radio. I'm Jay Skyline and James.
And I'm FRH, the fly revolutionary hustler motherfucker. And if you don't know how to say it, don't try.
Don't try. I'm gonna get. You know what's gonna be funny? I'm gonna get the actual long version of it before I get the acronym down.
Yeah, it's all good.
But we'll be right back on GM Worldwide Radio.